My name is Adriana, and this is Many Roads, No Rules, because I never know where I'm going to be the next day. So it's good, it's nice to live like that, wherever the wind takes you. And today I'm going to take you with me along the gorge, the flaming gorge of the Green River. Beautiful drive. I hope you enjoy it. From where I was in the limit between Wyoming and Montana, I wanted to get to Colorado, so I had to drive south, and I was very close to the west of Wyoming. So I started driving towards Colorado, and something very particular happens when you drive through these extensive lands. At some point you cross the continental divide, from one point and on the continental divide, all the rivers that are on the west go to the Pacific, and all the rivers on the east, they all go to the Gulf of Mexico. So I crossed the continental divide. That was already very significant. That was amazing. And you go into a land rich with history of the far west, all these pioneers that went there. For example, the Oregon Trail and so many other trails. People trying to find their way from the east to the west, and you see the trails here and there and everywhere. There are signs of all those human beings trying to make their way through these lands. Everything in Wyoming is rustic. And of course it has to be. The land is like that. The land of these cowboys is amazingly beautiful but wild. It is not the manicured type of land we're used to. This is a completely different game. Take, for example, this coffee shop in a gas station in the middle of nowhere. Everything is rustic here. And to this day, these lands are a little far out there, because, for example, on this road trip I took, along this road, there is nothing for about 70 miles or so. You can drive all that distance without seeing another human being. I drove 70 miles without seeing anybody but an occasional driver. Just that, 70 miles. one thing you see along this way is junipers, like thousands and thousands of junipers. And you know, junipers have this little fruit that is used to flavor gin. So I don't understand why gin is not being made more in this area, why there isn't a distillery that makes gin. But in any case, the smell in the air of these junipers and the sage is so beautiful. So even if you don't see anybody, you can step out of your vehicle and smell the air. It's just fantastic. In the year 1869, Major Powell crossed this area, and when he saw these very red rock formations, he was reminded of flames, and that is why he gave this gorge that name. Luckily, on the day I was there, but it was cloudy, so I didn't get to see the red colors of the flaming gorge. But the wind seems to be something very serious in this area. And you know that because of these barriers that are along the road that are obviously there to cut the strength of the wind. Imagine in winter, imagine you are driving this road and there is nothing to stop the wind, and the wind blows with the snow all over you. It would bury you. So these barriers are obviously to prevent that, and they are a very real presence there. It is impressive to see those barriers because that tells you the story of the weather in this area. all the way through these many miles, you drive on top of the gorge. But at some point, you start going down into the gorge, and you get to the Flaming Gorge Dam, which is a very interesting building, very impressive. And to tell you the truth, I had never heard of that before. Many people talk about other dams that are more famous, but this one is a little bit out of the way. Very impressive building. If you're patient and lucky enough, you may get to see a turkey vulture. And just like that, after a lot of driving, I got to the town of Vernal, I think it is Vernal, Utah. Very beautiful town. They were getting ready for the 4th of July, so there were a lot of flags and flowers everywhere. And the one particular thing about all this area is that many dinosaurs were discovered here. So there are a lot of exhibits and shows and places showing dinosaurs. If you go to Vernal, Utah, now you know. They are very close to the Dinosaur National Monument, so I guess that is why there is so much enthusiasm there for dinosaurs. I hope you had a good time taking the road with me. Thank you very much for being here. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Share the video with someone who may be from Wyoming. And I hope to see you next week. Thank you very much.